What is up, YouTube? It's
What's going on?
Isaiah here, back with another video. All right, this is a very special video. All right, I'm on a Zoom with my boy Phil here. We've known each other for about 50 days, 50 something days. And
About 2 months now.
yeah, and so this is like my first student, and he just got his first wholesale deal. All right, show the money, yeah. I made him get the money out, bro, and like flex for the camera. So yeah, bro, it's real. This is real life, bro. He got it all in hundreds. And yeah, so I'm gonna shut this closet door real quick, but hold on.
Go ahead, handle your business. Uh,
All right, so just tell just tell about yourself, like your journey in wholesaling, how you found out about wholesaling and everything.
hmm. So my journey with wholesaling, I was 17 years old. I think I was a senior or a junior in high school. Either one, I'm not sure. I had a friend that had done his first wholesale deal and made $10,000. We 17, 18. So you up $10,000, you up $5,000 at that age. Like that's like you are doing amazing. So like I wanted to know how he was getting it done. He told me it was through wholesaling. So I think I had bought a course like he instructed me to do. I try to follow through with it, and everything like that. I tried for about a year and I stopped. I left it alone. I started selling cars and everything like that, sort of like to build up my confidence, like with talking to people, things of that nature. And my whole vision going into selling cars is that I would leave the car business eventually to go back into real estate. So, January 19th, 2022, no, 2023. I left my job. I had a lot of money saved up, sales experience, and then for the last 10 months, I've been basically trying everything under the sun. I was cold calling, absentee owner list. I was texting these people. I was going on house appointments. I was doing direct mail. Sometimes I would do driving for dollars. It was very rare, but I was basically trying everything. I think maybe 2 months ago, like you said, I stumbled upon your channel and I saw, um, you know, Zay was like a younger wholesaler like me. He had closed a couple of deals, everything like that. And like I like the way your channel was going, everything like that. Like it seemed like I could relate to you. So then you said in one of the comments to your videos, email you to talk more. And then of course I jumped at it and everything like that. We got on the phone and then we just been at it ever since. Zay looked at everything I had going on, said, I need you to cut this out, this out, this out, stop doing all that, and just focus on making 50 conversations a day, one offer a day, and then try to, of those 50, make 10 connected calls on Zillow. I tried your method for the last 2 months and surprisingly at no cost to me at all. The one method that didn't cost me any money, I ended up closing my first deal for 6,000. So yeah, I'm,
Six
I'm I'm
thousand.
extremely grateful. Yeah. Now
Hell
that
yeah.
we're like on a recording, I know I done told you 100 times over the phone. No, seriously, like I'm really thankful. Like, forget about the YouTube part. Like, I'm really thankful because like this wouldn't have been possible without it. Like, and now I have that proof of concept. So like now I know I can keep going. Yeah.
So so you were wholesaling while you were doing cars, or you were doing cars, stopped doing cars, and then did wholesaling?
Yeah, I stopped doing cars completely. I stopped selling cars, and then I came straight into the real estate space.
All right. So how much? So you quit doing cars, and then how long were you wholesaling before you met me?
No, before I met you, I would say I was probably at it for like 8 months. I think in my email I said it was like 8 months or 7 months that I had been at it. It was still no deal. Yeah.
Yeah. And then how much money do you think you spent in those 8 months?
I know right off the bat from that direct mail campaign, I probably spent at least $6,000. Let's just say if I started doing text message marketing from June all the way up until now, I've probably been doing text message marketing for like what 6 months straight. So that's probably been about $3,000 right there. I know I just got another probate lease fresh that I haven't used. Those are 1,500 right there. So between those are like 10 grand right there already that I've spent. So yeah, I've
Plus,
spent like
so what about the courses too?
the courses. Oh yeah, I think I had Ryan Pineda's coaching program. I spent 2,000 on that. What else was there? Um I think I spent $100 on a seminar. I think I spent $100 again just to speak to somebody for 30 minutes to better map out what I need to do with real estate business. It's just, I'll be honest, I've spent a lot of money. What, gas going from here to there? I think I drove 2 hours once to Pennsylvania, couldn't get a contract signed, came back home. So it's been all types of stuff. It's just been a long road. I'll be honest with you. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you say you spent about what you said is like 10 plus 2, so you spent about 12, maybe to $15,000, you think?
I've spent a lot of money. I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty sure there's stuff in there I don't remember because it's all just been like hazards of the job. But like, yeah, I've probably spent a lot of money. I would honestly probably say like over 20 grand just trying to get this first deal, just pouring money into it. So yeah.
And then when you met me, and then when you met me, it was about a month and a half, and
Yeah.
you got a
And
wholesale
no
deal for
money at
free.
all. You said cut this out, cut this out. He said you're spending way too much money. I need you to focus on making these things happen. And I did, and as you can see, we did it. So yeah.
Yeah, show the money again, son. Yeah, bro, that's real, son. The proof of concept is there, bro. So yeah, I feel like the main thing, because there's a bunch of different ways to wholesale, and there's a bunch of different marketing channels, and they all work. But when you're starting out and you don't have like, and you don't know exactly what you're doing, especially if you haven't got your first wholesale deal, anybody would tell you like, unless you like have a mentor who's like over your back watching you, I wouldn't spend no money on no marketing, bro, because the first thing you got to do is build your skills. This is about building skills, like, and you already had the skills somewhat of like you sold cars, you know how to sell a little bit, you know how to talk, you know how to flow a conversation. So I just knew like that was the most important thing. And besides that, I was saying all the marketing channels work, but none of them work if you focus on all of them at the same time. So that was the first thing. I was just like, yeah, you were literally doing text blasting. I think you were doing email blasting. You were doing direct mail. You was cold calling. You was doing a bunch of different things. And I was just like, stop all of that. Just start cold calling. Right. And there's only cold call. And the Zillow is so important. So I have 7 contracts signed right now. I'm about to have 8 today. And guess how many of those are from Zillow, son?
6.
So if I have 7 right now, 5 of them are from Zillow, and then I'm about to get another one from Zillow signed today. So Zillow is the way. I actually changed everything up with my KPIs, bro. I'm actually, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not using the dialer. I didn't even tell you this yet, but I'm not even using the dialer anymore, bro. I'm not
Really?
because I was on I've been on the dialer for like 2 weeks, and I've been noticing that because it takes a while for some people to answer sometimes, and it takes money too. The dialer takes money, and um, it takes money to pull the list, skip trace the list. And so I'm sitting on this dialer for like 30 minutes straight, and I'm not getting nowhere. All I got to do is go on Zillow, make one phone call, and it's a quality conversation with someone who
Station.
wants to sell their house. So I'm
Because they
just like,
posted it. Like,
yeah. So yeah, Zillow is automatic motivated sellers. Automatic. You just gotta separate yourself from all the other wholesalers on Zillow. You gotta separate yourself and be the master salesman. And yeah, that's also why I created my Zillow script. I actually didn't even give you the new Zillow script. You got the old one. I updated it a lot since then, but and it's only been like a week since I gave you that. So um what would you say What would you say was the biggest hurdle in the wholesaling journey for you?
um, I wouldn't really say there are any really big hurdles. More so, I mean, because after selling cars and like having been in the space before and leaving, like it was really nothing, I guess, that was new to me, if that makes sense. Um, just I guess I finally got someone that was willing to take a chance and work with me. So, there was that lack of experience and things like that. Like, when you want to get experience, people want experience, but the only way to get experience is if you give me the chance to get that experience. So it was like one of those things. But now that I have a deal under my belt and things like that, I feel like I could push forward and keep doing things. But yeah, that's what I said. That was about it. I don't think there was anything that really shook me up and stirred me up too bad. Probably when with this deal, when the seller ended up backing out, that was like the first time where I was like, wow, like that really
So
shook me
so
up.
walk us through this whole deal. How did this whole deal play out?
Man, okay. So following everything you said, we're sticking to 10 connected calls on Zillow. He was one of the people I called. He didn't answer for the first 2 days initially. On the third day, he finally answered when I called him. So that was another thing, just following up with them on a
Could you
daily basis,
tell
even if they
could
don't.
when you first saw it on Zillow, could you tell that it was a deal or what?
No, I didn't. I was just trying to call people blindly, and then I was going to figure out the offer and everything as I go along. Finally get him on the phone and everything like that. I start asking like, the questions for my script. I'm trying to understand his motivation, more things about the condition of the house, and then overall just where he's wanting to be. It was listed online for 99,000. So I asked him, like, I guess assuming, I was able to come in, pay cash for it, no realtor commission fees, we buy as is, like where did he feel like he was comfortable with coming down to? He told me he had already had an offer on the table for 80. So I didn't even really go to look. He had read me a text. I know that face because they always do that. They always say they have this offer for a certain amount and everything like that. But for the sake of just making a deal in the moment and getting the contract, when he said he had him the contract for 83, for 80, I said what I'll do is for the sake of making a deal, what if I'm able to come up to 83,000 and you sign with me? He said, yeah, sure. Sent him over the contract and everything like that. It took him about 2 days finally to sign it. He wanted to picture my driver's license and stuff like that just to make sure my name was the one that was actually on the contract. Sent it to him, no problem. He had his attorneys look over it and everything like that. So he finally signed it. Finally signs it. First thing I do is I go inside my Discord group chat and I ask them if it's a deal, and everyone's telling me I need to be at 60. I said, oof, okay. But then I came to Zay. Zay helped me make a flyer and everything like that. Well, you helped me make a flyer to market it out on Facebook Marketplace, which is where I used to find the deal. And then I had a couple people coming in. Originally, I was JVing it with somebody, so people would go and visit the property, and they all kept coming back at that same number of 60,000. So I knew now in my head it's time to go back to the seller and get a renegotiation of price.
So you had
Now
it
this
at
is where you.
83. How much did he
Mhm.
list it for?
He had it at 99. I got it under contract at 83,
Okay. And then everybody told
and
you
then
you
I
need to
had
get it at 60.
60. Yeah.
Okay.
So I listened to your advice. I called you to ask what I would do to get a proper price deduction. And basically, I just kept asking every person that went in there what their problem is and why they wanted it to be at 60. And I essentially just went back to the seller and I told them that verbatim.
Yeah.
People were telling me there's problems with the foundation. The roof was a big concern for them. They weren't able to access certain parts of the house. So I used all of that to justify coming down at 60. And he finally decided to. So in my mind, I'm like, I got a deal. We find an end buyer that's willing to do it for 65,000 and everything like that. But the guy's dragging his feet when I send the other contract for 60 and he ends up backing out. I was very depressed about that. I think I called you. That was the first time in 9 months that I had been doing it where I felt like quitting. Everything else was like kind of just I rushed it off and everything. That made me really feel like bad. But then I
What
spoke
was
to you, I spoke to a friend of
yeah.
mine.
I was
No,
gonna
I'm
say
listening.
I was gonna say what was the like while you were doing all this and you were really focused on this deal, what was the one thing I told you to just make sure you do? Do you remember? Or
Make sure I do all of this.
like make
What was
sure
the one?
you don't focus on this one deal. Like keep making the
Yeah.
calls, keep making your 50
Pause. Keep doing
dials.
other things. What's going on? Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I won't lie. I got away from that a little bit, but I was definitely still making some calls while I could. Um. So with this guy, he finally did. When he had finally decided to agree to everything, the buyer had now backed out again. So then I dropped everything I was doing, spent the whole day trying to find a buyer. I had it under contract now officially at 60. Had someone go ahead and buy it at 66, and then the rest was history from there. And I did my first deal. Yeah. So from contract to close, it probably took 30 days, 31, 32 days. Like, yeah, but I'm very grateful. And this was at no cost at all. I was just making calls off Zillow. So I'm
Yeah.
happy.
And so he was the seller was ghosting you sometimes, not answering. The seller was trying to back out at times. So
Yeah.
buyer backed out. Then so it was back and forth. You had to renegotiate. And I just that just goes to show like every deal, almost pretty much almost every deal you're gonna have to renegotiate. Facts. So far every deal I've gotten I had to renegotiate. This one that's about to close, I had to renegotiate that. And then the other one that's about to close, I had to renegotiate that. And then the other ones might have to renegotiate. I just called somebody else today to renegotiate. They said that they're with family because it's Thanksgiving. So I was like, all right. So don't be afraid to like just get something under contract. I'm talking to YouTube now. Like, don't be afraid. You just get it locked up because look, when when uh when me and you were doing everything that I was telling you, my main goal is I'm just going to get you through the wholesale process. Like whether it closes or not, we're going to get you to figure everything out. I'm going to get you past where you've never been before, right? So I was like, just lock it up cuz you asked me like is it a deal? And I remember like we couldn't really find comps like that. And I was like, "Son, just get it locked up. Just screw it. We're going to figure it out. Get it locked up." And we got it locked up, bro. And
And it's turning into something.
yeah, you're going to renegotiate it anyways, and worst case scenario, you back out. Oh well, but you learn. It's not like oh well, nothing happened. I failed. No, it's like you learned. Like I remember like you got so far as to where you got buyers looking at the property. You're like Isaiah, I never been this far before. I never did this before. I never got this far, and that was the whole point. Hmm. So I'm trying to think of another question because I ain't writing nothing down.
Now you're fine. We winging it, man. All right. It's good.
What would you say? What would you say? I know you probably don't even know the answer to this. What would you say the next step in wholesaling is for you? What do you think you're gonna do now?
Me personally, I think I'm gonna start focusing a whole lot more on for sale by owners versus everything else, and maybe hire a VA to do like my cold calling for my list. And that's about it, honestly. Just see how I can one cut my expenses down, but at the same time make every buck more meaningful. That's all.
Be more efficient.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word. So
Yeah,
this is what I'm working on right now.
I think Zillow is 110% the most efficient way to talk to motivated sellers for free. You just gotta, you just gotta hustle with it. Whatever you do, you gotta because wholesaling is a cutthroat business, bro. Everybody ain't built for it, son. Everybody ain't built for it. So again, tell the people how you did exactly what I told you to do and you got a deal. All you did was like you learned how I feel like and you that's a skill, like that's a virtue to have of how to shut up and listen and do what you're told. Like not in
Yes.
like some type of demeaning way, just like if you want to shorten the learning curve, you listen. So, yeah. What you got to say about
I
that?
mean, it was pretty simple. Like I seen they had already closed deals before, where like close in age. I think you're 27, I'm 22. You had just moved out your parents' house. I just moved out my parents' house. So like everything was in line. And I understand like this guy is just like me. He's closed deals. He didn't use anything. He didn't say anything like special or fancy. Like if that makes sense. Like this is a guy that figured it out just like everyone else is trying to. So when I saw that, it just made me like want to, listen to what you had to say. So really, for it wasn't even a question of how many hours I was on the phone. You just told me to stick to a number and try and hit that number every single day, and which is a method I really like. So just that 50 conversations a day, one offer, that all equates up to 30 offers at the end of the month. That can equate to one contract signed and then or multiple, and then your first deal, and that's essentially what happened. So that was just the process I try to stay to, honestly.
Facts. It's all a numbers game. It's all a numbers game. And eventually you get to shorten your Well, when it's a one man band, you want to be as efficient as possible, and when you're being efficient as possible, the numbers shorten. Like I changed my conversations, and when it comes to change, you have to be willing to put your ego to the side, bro, because it hurts your ego when you shorten your numbers. Like I went from doing 100 push-ups in the morning to 50 push-ups in the morning. I still do 100 a day. It's just I do 50 in the morning and 50 around like 10 a.m. And the reason is because I could breeze through 100 push-ups straight easy and it doesn't hurt. And I was like, bro, this isn't gonna fly. I could do 100 push-ups too easy. So I just did 50 push-ups, but they're slow as hell. They're slow push-ups. And so with the conversations, I got it from 55 conversations to 20 conversations. And you just have to put your ego to the side because your ego is like, I'm not doing enough work. I'm not doing it. But really, I'm being way more efficient, bro, because it's 20 Zillow conversations, bro. It's 20 Zillow and Facebook conversations. So it's it's less conversations, but they're all quality. Because I would have a conversation on the dialer, and it would just be a conversation would be just somebody hanging up in my face. I'm like, I'm not doing this no more, bro. That's not no. I'm gonna be as
That doesn't
efficient.
count as a conversation.
It does, or I was counting it as a conversation. Like if somebody says, "Hey, hello, no," I mean that counts as a conversation.
Yeah.
It counts as like an outreach. But I was like, I don't want to have those types of conversations anymore. I want to have quality conversations. Like I want to get to know somebody's name. I want to so yeah, it's all about being efficient. I think that's all the questions I got, bro. And I mean, you went over the whole story. You've been wholesaling for 8 months, met me a month and a half later. You got 6 bands. Show them one more time, bro. The people need to see, bro.
Oh, man. Man.
Son, all hundreds. He was like, should I
Oh,
get all hundreds or 20s? I was like, get the dubs, bro. Make sure they knew too. Hell
man.
yeah. And then yeah, we got that, bro. Locked it up. Yeah. So to YouTube, if y'all want free wholesaling contracts, my email is going to be in the description. Just make sure to email me. Leave a comment in the comment section saying I emailed you or done. Um, I'm gonna be starting a Discord. All right. I didn't even want to mention that, but until like I got this this interview, so I'm gonna be starting a Discord probably next month where everybody gets to join. Everybody's gonna be sharing each other's deals. We're all gonna have the Zillow script. We're all gonna go through it. We're all gonna have all the templates. We're gonna walk you guys through the deals, and it's gonna be a lot. I ain't even gonna go too much into the details, but so that's coming up. Discord. If you want free wholesaling contracts, email me. If you want a JV a deal with me, email me. My email is gonna be in the description. Just make sure you comment in the comment section so I don't miss your email and I know who to look out for. All right, Phil, you want to say anything before we dip out?
No, I'm in a place that no one else. It's not hard to get here. Like, just keep going, keep pushing, and have faith in yourself. And if you find someone like that, like, just follow the process. Don't worry about the results too much. Just follow the process, and then the results will follow. Like, that's what I gotta say. But thank you again, man. For
Thanks.
real.
Thank you, bro. All
No
right,
problem.
y'all. Stay motivated.
Okay.